Good morning. You know, a lot of people want us to feel sorry for ourselves, or we're motivated to do that when our circumstances are bad. And maybe we've lost our job, or maybe our health's not good, and somebody's sick in our family, or there's been misfortune in some way, and all of these different things. And so they want us, and the devil certainly does, to question the goodness of God. And where am I in God's great plan? If he's so good and so loving, how could all these things happen? Well, people feel bad for Moses because he had to leave Egypt. He had to leave the comforts of Egypt and go out into the wilderness. Think about that for just a minute. What did he find in the wilderness? He went out there and he found that blue sky. He found those rugged mountains. He found God in the naked landscape of God's creation in a way he never would have there in Pharaoh's house. Could it be that God is speaking to you in a way and telling you something he couldn't have done without these troubles in your life? He could never have gotten to you. You would have never been crying out to him. It's only because it's gotten this bad that you're watching this today, or that you're tuned into God, or watching whatever other things as well, I'm sure. But nevertheless, God has done something in your life that you would have thought it'd been better if I'd stayed at my job. It'd been better if my wife hadn't left me, or if my husband hadn't done this, or all of these things. Here's the opportunity to find God in the midst of those circumstances. God is there. What did he do with Moses? He showed up in a burning bush, started talking to him, started speaking to him, and telling him what he wanted to do with his life, something he never would have done in Egypt. And he starts growing in this wilderness banishment, this exile that he's in. Isn't it amazing? Here he is, 40 years kicking rocks, listening to bad sheep that he's over, and learning what it is to get close to God and close to nature. So much so that when God appears to him in the burning bush and he tells him of his call, what does Moses want? He wants more. He says, show me your glory. In other words, I've been exposed to something I never thought I would be. Show me your glory. He wanted more. And that's the natural response of a Christian. When God puts us in a bad situation, we think it's bad, but it's actually a blessing. And what do? We cry out for more. We want more of God. We want more of him. And what did he say to him? He said, I will allow my goodness to go before you. He had to cover him because nobody could see all of God and live. But he was allowed to see his goodness. In the midst of all of this, what is Moses doing? He's still doing what we in human nature do. He was continuously saying, who am I, God? Why'd you pick me? I'm not eloquent. I don't know how to speak. I don't even know your name. And what did God keep coming back with? Moses, I am that I am. He gave him the very name of God, the eternality of that name. He was, he is, he will be. I am everything you need, Moses. Well, I'm afraid, and I'm all these things. And what does he say? What do you see in your hand? A rod. Throw it down. Throw it down. Comes a snake. Pick it up. But you know what? At first it was Moses' rod. Then it became God's rod. Everything changed from his robe, his ownership, his time, his place in the world. And then it became God's man, God's rod, God's call. He totally changed in who called the shots and who he was really looking to find answers and to find what he was searching for in life. Isn't it amazing how God puts us in inopportune places in order that we can discover what God really wants to do with us? God bless you today, and have a great one.